After my grandfather died, he left me everything. Not just his savings and worn-down furniture, but the house. The old place he'd lived in alone for decades after Grandma passed. It stood like a forgotten relic at the edge of the forest, hidden beneath drooping oak branches and years of neglect. The roof sagged slightly on one side. Ivy crawled over the bricks like veins. The windows stared out like blind eyes. Still, a free house was a free house. I moved in the following week. Inside, the air was thick with dust and something else. Something older. The kind of stillness that makes your skin itch. Every room had a clock, ticking just off rhythm from the others, like they were all trying to keep their own private time. But the strangest thing by far was the door at the end of the upstairs hallway. Heavy, wooden, sealed tight. No handle on my side, no visible lock. Just a tarnished brass keyhole and 3 deep gouges in the wood, like something had once clawed at it. I asked my mom about it. She went pale and told me not to go near it. "He kept that room locked for a reason," she said. "Your grandmother hated it, said it had a smell." "What kind of smell?" She wouldn't describe it, just said, "Wrong." I didn't press. That first week, I tried to ignore it. The clocks, the cold spots, the way the shadows in the hallway seemed to move just a little when I wasn't looking directly at them. But every night around 2:30 a.m., I'd wake up to a faint sound, scratching, from the upstairs hallway. The first time, I figured it was mice. By the third time, I was less sure, because it didn't sound like mice. It sounded deliberate. 3 slow scratches. Pause. Then 3 more. Always coming from behind the locked door. I started keeping my phone nearby at night, recording audio. Most of the time, all I'd get was static. But once, I caught something. A whisper, faint, warped, but unmistakable. "Don't let it out." I stopped recording after that. A few days later, I came home from the grocery store and found a small wooden box sitting on my kitchen table. Dusty, hand-carved, ornate but no markings. Inside was a single brass key. It was cold, colder than it should have been. I didn't want to admit it, but I already knew what it was for. That night, I couldn't sleep. I stood in the hallway outside the locked door for what felt like an hour, just holding the key, listening. Nothing. The house was dead silent, but the kind of silence that waits. I unlocked the door. It groaned open just a few inches. The air that poured out was freezing, damp. It smelled like mold, wet stone, and something else. Something sweet and rotting at the same time. Inside, the room was empty, mostly. Peeling wallpaper, bare floorboards warped with moisture. A single window boarded shut with rusted nails. And in the center of the room, facing the wall, was a rocking chair. Moving, slowly, gently, rocking, as if someone had just stood up. I stepped inside. The moment I crossed the threshold, the door slammed shut behind me. Hard. I spun around, tried the handle, locked. The key was gone. I reached for my phone. No signal. The flashlight flickered once, then died. Darkness, silence, except for the faint creaking of the rocking chair, which had started again. I backed into the corner, eyes scanning every inch of the room. There was no one there, but I could feel something. A pressure, like someone was watching me from just behind the walls. Then I noticed the mirror, cracked, oval, hung low on the far wall like it had slipped from its nail and had been left that way. I walked toward it and froze. My reflection was wrong. It looked like me, but the movements weren't synced. My reflection's head tilted before mine did. Its mouth twitched when mine was still. And its eyes were too wide, too still, too aware. Then it smiled. Not a friendly smile, not even a malicious one, just knowing. I turned around fast, expecting someone behind me. Nothing, but the mirror still showed the figure, standing behind me, close, closer than before. I backed away, but the image stayed locked. My reflection was now face to face with whatever was behind me, breathing down my neck. And then I heard it again. Breathing. Not mine. I spun again, and something cold brushed my cheek, like the fingers of someone who'd been buried for a long, long time. The chair stopped rocking. I ran to the door, banging, kicking, screaming. No one came. The house didn't move. Eventually, I collapsed in the corner and passed out. When I woke up, the door was open. Just like that. The hallway outside was quiet. Dim morning light leaked through the window. The rocking chair was empty. And the mirror? Gone. No one believed me when I told them. I tried to find the key again. The box. The audio recordings. All gone. But things haven't gone back to normal. Because sometimes when I'm walking past a mirror at home, I catch a glimpse of something that isn't quite me. And every night at 2:30 a.m., I hear a slow creak from upstairs, the sound of a rocking chair, and soft, steady breathing just behind the walls.